The popularity of this facility just exceeded all of our imaginations. I think the Monterey Sports Center represents the people of Monterey. This was a gift to the community.
The Monterey Sports Center is a monument to the aspirations of a community. It holds the hopes and dreams of the people of Monterey for the health, well-being, and personal achievement of their families, friends, and neighbors. It's a community asset.
This is a place to come down, work out, recreate, have a good time in. And I think that just caught on. There are people in here today never dreamed that they would be down here working out.
I see so many people in the community who express gratitude for it. Well, part of it is it's affordable, it's spotless. We have a wonderful staff, and it's a place for everybody. 20 years, I mean, can you believe that? It looks like it was built yesterday.
When I think of the millions and millions and millions of people who have come through those front doors, we knew it would be successful. But I had no idea that it would be as successful as it has been.
The Sports Center filled a need repeatedly identified by elementary school students in Clyde Roberson's classroom. The idea captured people's imaginations.
So I was elected into the City Council in 1981, and so I was, 14 years into my teaching career. And the next 2 or 3, 4 years, a recurring theme. We need an indoor swimming pool. 5th graders, 10 and 11-year-olds, we need an indoor swimming pool. All right, so that kind of started the percolating. So I think we can give credit to the Monterey Sports Center, to Monterey's 5th graders, the kids.
I expected it to be a success because we needed a municipal pool and we needed a gym. I never dreamed that we would get 3,000 people coming here every single day.
So this was a kind of a culmination of a tremendous need. You know, you have a need and you fill it and it becomes very successful. Well, this was way more successful than we ever imagined.
Roberson, the father of the Monterey Sports Center, put forward the idea of a swim gym. The community came together to make it happen, and successive mayors and councils saw it through.
There was total council buy-in to building the Sports Center. There was community buy-in, and very importantly, there was staff buy-in, because this happens because of a team, not any one person. I originally brought the concept to the city, but obviously I didn't build the Sports Center. I don't run the Sports Center, it's a team.
Clyde Roberson became the mayor, but he's the one that came up with the conceptual idea about having this here and move forward with it. Then I became the mayor. And what happened during that period of time was that it was built during that period of time. But there were some steps that were in between that we thought were necessary.
Those in-between steps included the creation of a Citizens Advisory Commission, decisions about uses, and site visits to similar facilities.
My first official meeting in Monterey was actually a meeting of the swim gym committee over at the conference center. So I had the benefit of being in really at the ground floor as we explored what did we want this thing to be. We knew it was going to have a pool and we knew it was going to have a gym, but we had a lot of questions in terms of what was the best mix of activities. How did we allocate the space in the best way to meet, I'll call it the needs of the community?
When I went to Denver and saw how popular they were, the sports centers, the swim gyms, there was no doubt in my mind that this would be successful.
I think one of the first things that we noticed was that we went to different sites and we saw some pretty attractive buildings and we saw some ugly buildings. So there was one thing for sure that we came back with, and we wanted to be an architectural gem for the city. That was one thing. And then back there, we kept calling it a swim gym, and they said, "What's that?" And we described it, and they said, "Well, it's a sports center that you're talking about. It's more than just a swim gym." And so, sports center became the word.
The commission that I served on was an enthusiastic group of volunteers. We all loved the concept of the sports center, and it was the first one on the peninsula. I mean, there was nothing back here then in 1988.
As the idea came to life in project plans, controversies arose over everything from the size of the pool to the height of the gym, the mass of the building, its architectural style, even the entryway. But the controversies helped sharpen the focus of plans for the sports center.
The sports center would be a family fitness center. It would be focused on family health as opposed to competition. That was really an important distinction because by making that decision, we would build a facility with minimum spectator space and maximum participation space. So that's why when you go into the gym, you don't see 2,000 seats for spectators to watch somebody else playing competitive basketball, nor when you go into the natatorium do you see a 50-meter competition pool. It was decided this was going to be for the families. This was going to have 2 pools so that they could have everything from intramural type competition in one pool to prenatal exercise in the warm water pool to geriatric arthritic type exercises in the warm water pool.
It took a long time to get the building built, okay? So it was out in the public. Every single issue was a monumental battle, okay? The size of the facility, the gymnasium. If we were gonna offer recreation and we wanted volleyball and we wanted badminton, we had to exceed the height level. In the pool area, you know, we went through all the things about the diving board in which we have a whirlpool, and we said, no, remember, it's a recreation facility.
There was some comments that were not nice, you know, negative comments. People thought it would never get off the ground. People thought when it did, it's just going to cost so much money, it'll be closed in 2 or 3 years. By that little citizens committee and word of mouth, there was quite a bit of support for the sports center. And I think any project, city or otherwise, always has naysayers. But from day one at its opening, the problem has been it's not big enough. So that's a good thing.
The old Beatty Ford site was selected as the location for the sports center. But that site had been purchased by the city under previous mayor Jerry Fry with restrictions on its use.
Purchased it. And the idea of the purchase was that it would be for some community use. At that point, the swim gym, that wasn't talked about. It was some community use. One of the thoughts was that it could be a site for a performing arts center.
But the Performing Arts Center didn't pencil out, so residents were asked if they would support a sports center and fund part of it with tax dollars.
I think the controversy over the sports center construction was was diminished somewhat through the city's efforts to reach out to the community and take their pulse. There was a ballot measure.
There was an advisory vote that went out to the people asking the question about where should it be? Will you help finance it? And basically, is this a good idea? And that advisory vote came back all positive. It should be built here. It should be built, and yes, we'll help subsidize it.
So once the ballot measure was put on and it passed hugely, gigantically, I think that was more or less the end of the controversy.
With $4 million from the Mary Jacks Trust and wide community support, construction of the Sports Center got underway, and the business community raised money to equip the facility.
The money was there to build it, but to actually finish it, we thought it would cost another couple million. And so what we did was the community, the business community, got behind this, and so we had a fundraiser. So that was part of the financing of it.
When you went out and asked for the money, you know, corporate people want to help people. You know, they like to help. The people don't have access to a lot of these expensive country clubs. This is accessible for almost everybody of every age.
From the day the Monterey Sports Center opened on June 1st, 1992, it was paid for, and the community embraced it wholeheartedly.
People who we never thought would come were here. Not only were they here, they were buying their membership. Not a 3-month or a 6-month, but a yearly pass. People who I would look at that were my parents' age were coming here for health reasons.
I wasn't sure that it would be this kind of a success. I thought it would be a success, but for someone to tell you that, you know, there's going to be 3,000 people that are going to come down here on a average daily attendance, I couldn't say, yeah, I really thought that was going to happen.
We had no idea at the time how popular it would be from day one. The day we opened, it was too small. And we almost immediately started planning the expansion of the Sports Center.
When the Sports Center was completed in about 1992, we soon realized thereafter that it was too small. It was more popular than we had ever thought it would be. So some 10 years later, about 2002, we completed an expansion of the Sports Center in order to accommodate those crowds that we didn't anticipate.
The Sports Center's focus on family fitness created a welcoming social atmosphere that to this day enhances and enriches people's lives.
Because when you come here, I think your whole idea is, yes, obviously you want to get in good physical condition and get healthy, but it's a place for everybody. And you don't have to feel intimidated. The staff's friendly, everybody here is friendly, and it's a small town. Here's this town of 30,000 people with a major sports center.
There's so much positive energy in this facility, and you feed off your friends' energy is really what it is. And it's fantastic. It is a lot more motivating to work out in a very, very strenuous way when you have others around you, and everybody is here for a similar reason, and that is to become fit.
I think if you have a facility like this, and it's well built, it's handsome, it fits the downtown area, and then pretty soon it starts catching on, and I think a lot of it is by word of mouth.
If you look at the activity program today, you see that we have something for all ages, prenatal to, you know, if you're 100 years old, you can find something to do that will be healthy in the Monterey Sports Center.
Well, I knew it would be good and successful, but you know, you expect a lot of young people to use it, but the senior citizens that use it is terrific. Longevity is more important now than getting in shape for the football team, let me tell you. And you see everybody at every age. You see secretaries, nurses, teachers, everybody's in there. It's a social happening. It's kind of it's the community's gym. It's everybody that lives in this area who are all a part of it. And you build up a lot of lasting friendships, and everybody encourages one another, and you feel good about it.
Success has continued to this day. Originally built to return 75 cents of every dollar back to the city, the Sports Center consistently returns about 95 cents on every dollar. Memberships are kept affordable, but it is the Sports Center management and staff who define the place.
The facility is very well maintained. We have outstanding city staff. You approach the Sports Center, it is clean. You open the door, you have a smiling face of a young person who greets you and helps you through everything. You have wonderful trainers here at the Monterey Sports Center.
Sports Center first opened. Pete Catino was the director of the Sports Center. Jeff Vieira took over shortly thereafter, and Jeff has been a diamond for this place. He's on top of his game, nothing gets by him. He's wonderful with people. He's outgoing, as is all the staff, and that's what I attribute it to. Jeff works with his staff. He's a people person, and everyone that works here is a people person. Everyone is outgoing. They go out of their way to help you. Cleanliness is really important.
From the get-go, we decided we wanted to be as fresh and as competitive as we could possibly be. And Jeff and his current team are still doing that. If you're looking for the latest exercise, you can find it at the Monterey Sports Center, or the latest fad. They just do a great job of continually adjusting to meet the needs of the community.
So what will the future bring for the Monterey Sports Center and the people who use it? Fitness trends may come and go, but the vision will remain constant.
This is just the beginning. Somebody else will be sitting here in about 50 more years talking about the Monterey Sports Center. And hopefully by then they'll be able to expand our third phase that Jeff and I have a dream for. And it'll come back because the people want it.
But 20 years from now, you're talking about what is the great thing that the city has done over the last 20 years. At that point in time, the Sports Center will be 40 years old. It will still be a first-class facility, offering first-class opportunities to our families of all ages, whether they're in their 90s or whether they haven't been born yet. That Sports Center has something to offer that helps make Monterey a better place to live.
The Monterey Sports Center is a source of community pride, and it shows what a community can do by working together toward a common goal.
And so what we have here is a coming together, a gathering place of the community where they can really improve their quality of life. It feeds their spirit, their body, their mind. It's an opportunity to not only talk to others in the community and visitors who are using the facility, but it is also a way to unwind and to enjoy life.
I enjoy walking around the Sports Center, and I overhear the conversation and the compliments. And it just, it gives you such a pride in the fact that I was able to be a part of it, that we had a community that came together, we had a council that was right there with us, shouldering all of the things. And how could you not make it be a success because all the elements are here?
I think the most important touchstone is what Mayor Albert used to refer to as the Monterey Way. If the city of Monterey was going to do something, they were going to do it in a first-class way. We didn't settle for second best. The Sports Center epitomizes that. It is a first-class building, it's a first-class operation. The people who go out of those doors every morning go out with a smile on their face.
It is one of the great success stories for the city of Monterey, and it's in a wonderful location just across from our waterfront, the wharves, walking distance to downtown, and we as a city hit a home run with the Monterey Sports Center.